As I sit here, surrounded by the dusty remnants of history, a particular file from the Obscura Archive draws my attention. One that whispers tales of a tragedy so profound, it still sends shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned aviators. On a balmy winter afternoon in 1945, 5 US Navy TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, collectively known as Flight 19, embarked on a routine training exercise, a mission that would prove to be their last. The skies were a brilliant blue, with only a few wispy clouds scattered across the horizon, as the planes took to the air, their engines roaring to life. The exercise was a straightforward one, a series of bombing runs and navigation drills, designed to hone the pilot's skills in the warm waters of the Atlantic off the coast of Florida. Each of the 14 crew members on board the 5 planes had undergone rigorous training, and this mission was meant to be a routine test of their abilities. The Avengers, with their distinctive gull-wing design, were a common sight in the skies, their pilots well-versed in the intricacies of flight. Yet, as the planes flew further out to sea, a sense of unease began to creep over the radio operators, back at the Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale. The transmissions from Flight 19, once clear and confident, began to grow increasingly erratic, the voices on the other end laced with a growing sense of confusion and fear. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the mission vanished in a thin air, leaving behind only the haunting question, what happened to Flight 19? The silence that followed was deafening, a void left by the sudden disappearance of the squadron's voices. But it was not absolute, for the radio operators at the NAS Fort Lauderdale station continued to scan the frequencies, straining to pick up any hint of a signal. And then, faintly, a voice emerged from the static, a pilot's words tumbling out in a jumbled mix of confusion and alarm. The last transmissions from Flight 19 are a chilling testament to the pilot's growing disorientation, their voices laced with a creeping sense of unease. As I delve into the transcripts, I notice the language becoming increasingly fragmented, the sentences disjointed and unclear. The pilot's usual crisp communication gave way to hesitant guesses and worried speculations. They spoke of being lost, of not knowing their position or heading, their voices rising in a desperate bid to be understood. The words themselves are mundane, almost banal, but it is the tone that sends a shiver down the spine, a tone of men struggling to maintain their composure in the face of the unknown. The phrases repeat, a maddening litany of uncertainty, as the pilots struggle to make sense of their surroundings. In these final moments, the pilot's language becomes a kind of cryptic poetry, full of implied meanings and hidden fears. Their words are a window into a world turned upside down, with the familiar rules of navigation no longer applied. And it is here, in the deciphering of these cryptic messages, that we may uncover the first clues to the mystery of Flight 19's disappearance. As the last transmissions from Flight 19 faded into the ether, a sense of unease settled over the airbase. The cryptic messages, now etched in the minds of the controllers, only seemed to deepen the mystery. It was then that a rescue plane, a PBM Mariner flying boat, was dispatched to locate the missing Avengers. The Mariner, call sign Training 49, took off into the gathering dusk, its crew tasked with scouring the waters for any sign of the lost planes. But as the hours ticked by, Training 49 too fell silent, its fate inextricably linked to that of Flight 19. A massive search and rescue operation was quickly mobilized, with over 300 aircraft and numerous ships joining the hunt. The scale of the response was staggering, with the US Navy and Coast Guard committing significant resources to the effort. The skies were filled with the drone of engines, as planes combed the waters, searching for any sign of wreckage or survivors. Meanwhile, ships and cutters scoured the seas, their crews peering out into the darkness, scanning the horizon for any glimpse of the missing aircraft. And yet, despite this overwhelming display of force, the darkness seemed to swallow all, leaving only an unsettling silence in its wake. As the search efforts continued, a sense of desperation began to creep in, like a chill that seeps into the bones on a cold winter's night. The investigators, fueled by a mix of determination and frustration, pored over every detail, every scrap of evidence, no matter how small. They scrutinized the flight plans, the weather reports, the radio transmissions, searching for that one thread that could unravel the mystery of Flight 19's disappearance. The rescue plane's vanishing, too, had added a new layer of complexity to the investigation, a daunting puzzle that seemed to shift and twist with every new discovery. With each passing hour, the investigators faced numerous challenges, from the treacherous waters of the Atlantic to the sheer vastness of the search area. The limitations of their equipment and resources became painfully apparent, like a frail rope straining under the weight of an unbearable load. Despite these hurdles, they persevered, driven by the haunting question that hung in the air. What had happened to those 5 aircraft and the 27 men who had vanished with them? The silence, as I delved deeper into the Obscura Archive, remains oppressive, a physical presence that presses upon the skin, refusing to yield its secrets. In this vacuum of knowledge, theories began to emerge like whispers in the dark, each one a tantalizing thread that promised to lead to the truth, yet ultimately seemed to vanish into the darkness, leaving only more questions in its wake. As these threads of speculation unraveled, they began to weave a complex tapestry of theories, each one attempting to explain the inexplicable. Some pointed to human error, suggesting that the pilots, despite their experience, had become disoriented in the vast expanse of the Atlantic, their instruments and training no match for the unpredictable currents of the Gulf Stream. Others proposed a more sinister explanation, one of catastrophic equipment failure, where a malfunctioning compass or a faulty radio had sent the planes plummeting into the abyss. And then, there were those who ventured into the realm of the unknown, whispering tales of paranormal activity, of magnetic anomalies that had warped the very fabric of space and time, drawing the planes into a void from which there was no return. These theories, though often shrouded in mystery, seemed to capture the imagination of the public, fueling an enduring fascination with the incident that would span decades. I have watched from the confines of the Obscura Archive as the legend of Flight 19 has grown, a testament to the human desire to understand the unexplainable, to impose order on the chaos that lies at the edge of our knowledge. Theories and legends continue to swirl around this incident, each one a reflection of our deepest fears and our most profound curiosity. Theories and legends continue to swirl around this incident, each one a reflection of our deepest fears and our most profound curiosity. In the years that followed, the disappearance of Flight 19 had a profound impact on aviation, prompting significant improvements in safety protocols and emergency procedures. The incident also marked a turning point in the public's perception of the Bermuda Triangle, cementing its reputation as a region of unexplained phenomena and mysterious disappearances. The story of Flight 19 has become an integral part of our cultural landscape, inspiring countless books, films, and documentaries. Its enduring mystique is a testament to the power of the unknown to captivate and unsettle us. And yet, despite the many explanations and theories that have been proposed, the truth behind the disappearance of Flight 19 remains elusive, a reminder that there are still depths of human knowledge that remain unexplored. As I close this file, I am reminded that the Obscura Archive is home to many such stories, each one a thread in the intricate tapestry of human experience. If you wish to explore more of these forgotten and forbidden tales, I invite you to subscribe to our channel, where you will find a wealth of knowledge waiting to be uncovered. The archive never closes,